Trick or treat! Well, hell no! Hello, YouTubes! I've been cleaning out the shed, getting all the Halloween stuff out, working on a display in the yard. I've been going through my bins of old stuff, and I come across this head. I've had this head for probably 13, 14 years now. Don't know where it comes from, don't know who made it, but I thought, you know, I'm going to put this thing to use this year. It's just rubber, foam-filled latex, kind of squishy. If you know who makes this head, drop it in the comments below, because I'm kind of curious to know. I bought this so many years ago, I don't even remember. But he's kind of squishy foam latex, and I've never really used him for anything. He's got sort of a hole in the bottom of his head, and that's exactly how I bought him. He didn't come any other way. So I found this guy, and I noticed last year in one of my bins, I had this set of hands I had gotten off Amazon. They look cool, and when I got them, they're like child size. And I thought, oh man, these are way too freaking tiny. But they're actually really nice sculpts. You know, they're done pretty well. There's some sort of hard plastic with like some kind of weird bone plug in there with some fresh blood. So I thought, man, you know, I want to take these parts and use them and make a little zombie trick-or-treater. You know, like a little classic, like, style ghost little guy. So I got a bunch of PVC stuff that I had, a bunch of junk laying around. I got some PVC pipe in the back corner. I'm like, yeah, we're going to make him a little body. We'll make him a little ghost. I want to get working on these hands and see if we can get these little plugs out. It looks like there's little bones or little hard plastic bones in there or something like that. So I don't know if I could twist them out or heat them up or... Oh, go ahead. That's promising already. Okay. Hey, we're getting work done, baby. All right. So it looks like there's a little plug glued in there. So that actually suits our purposes perfect. So I think what we're going to do is we're going to get a board. I'll make a little base for him. We'll set the feet on there. I'll trace out the feet, trace out a base, and we should be able to get some PVC dropped right in there. I'll cut a hole in the bottom of the foot, maybe drop it on. I don't know. I'm going to get a board. We're going to set the feet up there. We're going to make this guy probably about yay high, toddler size or so. Give him a little trick-or-treat bucket and stuff. And we're going to make us a zombie trick-or-treater. So let's get going on this damn thing. Okay, YouTubes, we're good to go. I went ahead and used a pair of pliers to rip out those little stumps. They were hollow and had a little bit of foam filling inside. They seem to be kind of a soft plastic, which is perfect for our uses. We can stick them outside and not have to worry about rain and anything else. So all our little limbs are clean. I got our feet. I got a scrap board I got from Menards for $3 or $4. It's a nice birch plywood, so it'll be fine to go outside. So I figure I'm going to set his feet about where I want them. Like I said, we're going to make them about toddler size, a little bit bigger. So I'm just going to go ahead and roughly mark out where I want his feet. That foot there. You can see these feet are a little bit puffy. They kind of... So we're going to fix that. We'll do some probably rigid foam in the feet. It'll give it a little bit of weight too. So I figure his feet will be about there. I'm going to use a paddle bit. I'm going to drill in through the board. And I'll make a hole for our... Either I'll use a plug or I'll use 1-inch PVC for all this stuff. We'll see. So I'm going to go ahead and make a little design for his feet. Something like so. Give him a little stability. And then we'll do something like that. I'll put his feet holes here. So I'm going to go ahead and cut this board by a little jigsaw. I'll jig this out. And then I'll either glue some caps in, or I'll just put the PVC right in. That way we can make it removable. It'll be easy to store the board when you want to put up in the rafters after Halloween's over. So I'm going to get to cutting. When I come back, we'll be ready to drop some pipe in here, make some legs and a little frame for this guy. Alright, YouTubes. I went ahead and popped some holes in. 1.5 inches just away for a bit. I got some caps for 1-inch PVC. I hogged these out a little bit, hoping I can fit these in there, make them nice and tight. Yeah, they're pretty tight. Okay, I kind of anticipated this. Just gonna go ahead and tap them in. Perfect. Alright, cool. Now we can have a base for our little legs to sit in there. Our PVC still fits in there, so that's awesome. I think what I'm going to do next is, okay, caps in there. I'm going to go ahead and put some Depcon epoxy on the back sides of these. That way to lock them into place. Yeah, throw some paint on here. I think I'll go gray, just because it's going to sit outside my garage door where the trick-or-treaters come. So I'm going to go ahead and get this painted up. Just throw a quick paint job on it. That's one special. You guys can decorate this however you want. You can add whatever you want to. You can put grass on it. You can flock it. I mean, you could throw skulls on it, add little pumpkins on it. The sky's the limit. I'm just going to do a cheapie for this demonstration. I'll make it great for my driveway. And when I come back, we're going to start building a little frame for this guy and put a little creepy head on there. So, alright, I'm going to paint this up. We'll come back in a minute. Okay, YouTubes, so I got the base all painted. I just blacked out the underside, no big deal. I threw a bunch of different grays, a little bit of dirty browns on here just to make it look like dirty concrete. I went ahead and took some tees and I made him a little neck and two little shoulders. I just went ahead and made him even with his legs. So these will be his shoulders. We'll have his little elbow arms. These little elbows will be his arms coming off. What I got to do next is figure out my height on this guy. I'm going to cut two side legs for him. Go stuff him in right around like so. And I want him kind of looking backwards like he's looking up in the air when he's asking for candy. So I don't want him really too high. I'm thinking maybe, see, we drop those right in there. Get my pen. There, it's a little bugger. Maybe about yay high or so. Something like that. Alright, we'll go about that height. So I'm going to go ahead, I'm going to cut his side legs down. I'm going to get him mounted. I'm going to make some little gnarly arms for him. And I think we'll be ready to go ahead and start working on his hands and paint, or his hands and feet. We'll throw some paint on him, get him, try and get him closer to this tone as much as we can. So, alright, I'm going to get that done, and we'll come back. Okay, YouTubes, I got my skeleton basically done for him. His legs are 27 inches tall, a couple of 45s and 90s. I got his hands just sitting on there. I think I'm going to go ahead and just Loctite foam them onto his little forearms and put them where I want them. So I'm pretty happy with the size of his skeleton. Nothing is glued on this whole assembly. I can move everything around the way I want it and change it however I want. So I don't know if I'll glue anything. I might just go ahead and put screws in case maybe next year I want to put a different costume on them or change them around. So I think it's time to go ahead and get some paint on them. I've got this Satin Eden 2X color. I'm going to go ahead and give his hands a base coat and his feet a base coat. I went ahead and drilled the same holes in the bottom of his foot so he should be able to slide right down over his pole. And then I'll probably put a screw in the bottom side. Maybe I'll even foam fill these things to kind of fill them out a little bit so they're not so squishy. So we'll probably do that too. So I'm going to go ahead and get a coat of green on here. And I'm going to try and get close to what his head looks like. I'll probably dry brush some grays and stuff, and we'll see. It ain't got to be perfect. It's just a little trick-or-treater. So I'm going to do that now. When I come back, I'm going to start working on the rest of the colors. Okay, YouTubes. So I got a coat of the Satin Eden on everything. It's still kind of tacky, so that's okay. I'm going to go ahead and darken it up with that Satin Hunt Club green color. It's not a black yet, but it's a lot darker. As you can see, the head's a lot darker than the hands and feet. So I'm going to go through with a bunch of different colors and see how close I can get to that head. I'm just going to go ahead and spray on top of the hand because the underside would naturally be lighter. I'm going to get down all of them cracks. Like I said, it's a really good sculpt. It's just, man, it's tiny. It's like little kids' hands. So why not make a little creepy kid trick-or-treater? So we're darkening up a little bit. I'm going to go ahead and hit all these parts and darken them with this green. And then I'm going to go back and I'm going to hit them with some guide coat black. So I'll be back and show you what the next stage looks like. Okay, YouTubes, this is the result of our Satin Hunter green on top of our Eden green. Like I said, I just sprayed and wiped away. I'm pretty happy with that. I think our last step is going to be a transparent black. This is guide coat for automotive primer. I use this when I'm sanding down a car, and it's primer and I'm ready to block it. I can see my high spots and my low spots. Pretty cool stuff, but it's more of like transparent black. It's not a true black. We're not going to see much of him since he's going to be a ghost, so I want to try and get as close to that darker eye color as I can because that's all you're going to see when we cut the slits in there for his little hood. So we're looking for that color, and again, it ain't got to be perfect. I'm going to use this guide coat black. It's made by Sem. They make a lot of good products. I love Sem. So we're going to do the same thing. We got our base color down, which is the Eden green. We got our darker color to kind of blend it in, and this is going to be our black. And we're just going to try and hit it, darken it up, and wipe away. I'm going to let that sit, and I'll probably dust another light coat on just to darken it a little bit, because you can see it's more of a transparent color. And we're pretty close. Maybe a little dry brushing of an olive green, and we'll be right there. So I'm going to finish up all these parts. We come back. I'm going to get these assembled onto the frame, and then we'll be ready to dress this guy and get his little outfit on. Okay, YouTubes, paint is all done. I went ahead and got everything painted up, put a coat of matte clear on there. I went ahead, the only thing I really added was the toenails. I put a coat of yellow paint on the toenails, and then I brushed on a couple of coats of Titebond Wood Glue 3. I love over time how the Titebond gives it like that dark, burnt, gnarly mustard color, so it's totally cool for toe fungus and stuff for making zombies. So I want to start getting him dressed. I've been looking for an outfit for him. I can't hit the thrift stores. They want like $6 for a freaking used t-shirt. It's crazy. So I went ahead and hit up the Dollar Days today. That's for another project. Alright. I was looking for some white pants for a little zombie ghost. I couldn't find anything that worked. So I thought, man, when I was in the aisle for the kids' pajamas, I thought, man, you know, I just need some white sleeves and some white ankles. So I was turning around, it's like, look, there's freaking socks. Socks will be perfect. So my plan is, I'm going to use these socks as cuffs for his wrist and for his sleeves. I'm just going to go ahead and slice them off. Look at that. Alright. Look at that. And in case I want to make this guy a different costume next year, these little sock cuffs will be perfect for his little zombie feet. So my plan is to do this. So now we got some little zombie ankles. This one, where's the one I cut it? There it is. Okay. So I can stretch them out if I want. I think socks would be great. They can sit outside. They'll turn dingy and gray, and that'll be awesome. Oh, piece of color. All right. So I'll put them down. I think what I'm going to do is just do a little bit of hot glue. Now normally, y'all know Cobwebs hates hot glue. But if I decide to make this guy a different creature next year or change him or put a different costume on him, you know, people put them stupid gooses on their porch and they have like little Easter outfits for him and little Christmas outfits for him. I hate that crap. But the little zombie guy wants to be a different guy next year, and I could easily bust the hot glue off and we could totally make him something else, put a different costume on him. So I'm going to put a little dab here, a little dab there. Boom, he's done. Once that stuff dries, we got us a little zombie costume. So I'm going to go ahead and do his hands. I think I'm okay to go ahead and put his top half on now. So I'm going to get his hands on. I went ahead and filled his ankles, and his hands are rigid foam. So these paint sticks will slide right up in there. And none of the joints are still glued. I can move them around where I want. I must have something jammed in there. Oh, crap on the stick. Okay. So I'm going to go ahead and get his little costume on. I'm going to use the actual tarp that I'm sitting on. We're going to make that the ghost outfit for him. I'm going to run some screws in here so I can pose him however I want later. And then we'll burn some eye holes in this little guy and finish him off. Okay, YouTube's just about done with this little cretin. We got them all kind of glued together. I just hot glued all his little folds and everything on this sheet because it's garbage anyways. It don't matter. Like I said, if you're a no-sew, hot glue is the way to go for this one. This one I don't care about. I think one last little detail I want to give him. I want to give him like a pumpkin head. So I got this old funkin. I drew a little face on there. I'm going to hollow it out and see if I can't fit it on his head, make like a little head cap for him. I think that'd be kind of cool. And that'll be my little finishing touch for him. And of course we need a trick or treat bucket. And since he's a ghost, I wanted an old school pumpkin. I went to CVS yesterday and I was looking around and they had these little pumpkins for like $8. It's got a little light in there. I thought that'd be pretty cool, man. So I'm going to cut the top of this thing off. I'm going to put a string on it and we're going to give him a little trick or treat bucket. So I'm going to go ahead and knock this pumpkin out, get his trick or treat bucket ready to go. And then I'm going to start shaving down this pumpkin to fit on his little head so you can see the eyes through it and have some of his mouth hanging out. So when I come back, we're going to have this guy fitted all done, and we'll take a look at him and see what he looks like all put together with his little accessories and stuff. Okay, YouTubes, this little cretin's done. I got him all finished up. The last couple things I did was I finished his little bucket. It was that little blight up pumpkin. I just cut a hole in the top, ran some twine through it, did a little bit of touch up, and scuffed the bucket up so it looks more beat up. I went ahead and glazed his eyes. His pupils were kind of green. I wanted them to more stand out. And then I went ahead and hit him with some Devicon to make them glossy so that they kind of pick up the light and they look like they're wet and they're shiny, so they look like all gnarly and mummified. And then the last thing I did was I just glazed his lower eye bags with a little bit of my fake blood serum, which is basically just Liquitex and a little bit of Ranger red ink and a touch of Spirit blood. Works out pretty good for me. But I'm pretty happy with them. I mean, he's all the way around. He's done. Got the little pumpkin carved. I put a real stem in this thing that I had laying around for a couple of years, so he's good to go. The little head pops off, or little helmet pops off from his little pumpkin head. So I'm happy. I'm going to bring the camera in, and I'll show you guys the closer details on this little guy. Alright guys, here he is. There's his eyes. You can see they're real nice and glassy and zombified. It's just a cheap old funkin on top of his head with the real stem I glued in. I went ahead and I hit his little clothes with the RIT dye and the wood burner and everything else. So he goes all the way down to the floor in the back and hangs down a little bit, but you can still see his little zombie feet sticking out. Here's his little raggedy socks I shredded. And I've actually had him sitting outside for the night in the frost, so far so good. The more raggedy he looks, the better. And then there's his little pumpkin. Little pumpkin was pretty easy, like I said, I think it was CVS, $8. I should probably turn the light on this thing. It does have a light, so that'll be actually pretty cool. And I'm going to put him on the porch to block the trick-or-treaters. That way they'll come to the garage and get their candy. What is with this damn pumpkin? Okay, there's his light. Okay, there's his light. I went ahead and I brushed some wood glue on his fingernails after repainting those. Put a coat of satin clear and everything. I might go back and dry brush the base a little more. I just love how crusty his feet look, and the dye that fell off of him that hit the base, I just left it. So overall, I'm really happy with him. I think he's got a little gnarly head. And then you can take the pumpkin off if I want to. But I thought just kind of a classic little ghost theme for this little bugger. It was just junk leftover parts from Amazon that kind of sucked that I didn't really know what to do with. But all around, he'll look cool whether he's looking at him from the back or the kids are walking up on him. And he's got a little light in his pumpkin. So that's pretty cool. So a couple of batteries, and this guy's good to go for Halloween night. And the kids can come see him and get their candy. Okay, YouTubes, that's my zombie trick-or-treater. He's done. Like I said, I just started with some old Amazon zombie parts that were really too small, kid-size, to do a full-size zombie. And I thought, hey, why don't I keep these things, use this head I had laying around forever, and make a little something out of them. So now I got me a little trick-or-treater, and hell, I can even change his outfit out every couple of years, like those stupid ducks people put on their porch, and they put Easter outfits on them and Christmas outfits and all that crap. Well, when I got a little zombie trick-or-treater, I can change his outfits out and put him on the porch all year round. So hey, you guys get a chance, go see my brothers in the Trio of Terror. Look at our Facebook page, or go to Cobwebs and Candlesticks on Facebook. Upload your guys' your projects, your pictures, anything you're working on at home, man. We want to see them. Go see Vic at Monster Misfits or Dave at the Weird Kid Show channel. And all our Facebook pages. And man, if you guys are making little trick-or-treaters or bucket buddies and whatever you guys are making, hey, just share it with us. Put it on there, man. It's for everybody to see. So don't be afraid. Be a stranger, don't be a stranger. Come on by, stop by, and share a project with us. We're dying to see what you guys got. So I'm going to go stick this little guy on the porch, and hopefully a couple of days, you'll be ready to see some trick-or-treaters run up on them. So thanks for watching. I will see you guys in the next one. Till I see you again, keep it evil. God damn, that kid was ugly.